Hello everyone, my name is Gospel, your favorite gospel man, and we have here.
You have Mrs. Amarachi with you.
Oh, Mr. March, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
On this talk show, we'll be discussing on the tension between upholding a decent family tradition and adapting to the trend in contemporary society. So here we are on the studio. I believe that you're gonna like this, and it's a very interesting topic. So here we are discussing on the tradition and values of the family. Um, Currently, development is not something that doesn't have. It's not something that has an end. It's a continuous process. So the world is developing day by day. We are having children, and they are adapting to the modern trend in the society. So it may not really blend them. And definitely, from my observation, our values and tradition are quietly moving side. So I don't really know. I need to, I don't really know if you have something to say about this because of what is happening today. We are getting different news. So tell me about the what you understand by the topic.
I think by the topic, there is a shift from the topic. As you said, you notice that there is a shift and there's a tension between the children adapting to the modern world and living the traditional values. Yeah, I quite agree with you on that. The course is not so far fetched. We are moving. Initially, we have this extended family that is bedded in core family values and tradition. But over the time, we are now moving towards a nuclear family where the children are growing up independent of any extended or traditional or values. They have a mindset of their own. So it's getting a little bit hard getting the children that grow up independent minded to go back again to assimilate these family values and keep the tradition. I think that's breeding a kind of tension between what I would say as the modern children and the families that give birth to them.
So with this now, who do you think that is the cause? Is it the cause of the parents or the children?
Well, I think I'm not going to apportion blame, but both.
Oh, okay. Because I guess I knew that during our days, at least we have what we call tradition, our culture, our way of life in our family that is well instituted. That no, none of us comes back before or after 6 p.m. So everyone must be at home 6 p.m. Even my father made it known to my mom that even if no matter business she's doing, that she comes back by 6. And anybody that didn't come back by 6 sleep outside, doesn't care. So these are some of the things, and most times you see that I'll be coming in, you see my mom will ask me, have you greeted this man? Have you greeted that? As if, some of those things, these are some of the culture, tradition she's trying to put in me, that I should know that this is our way of life. But nowadays, I suspected and I noticed and observed that children of these days, they do not have some of this tradition and culture in them. So is it that parents are not doing the necessary things that they need to do, or is it that they are doing it but children choose to follow the trend, the modern way of life?
Um, like I said earlier, I'm not trying to apportion blame because if we are to apportion blame, we will not start with the children. We will start with every other facet of the society. Take for instance, I know that when I was attending primary school, the then Awada Primary School, we closed the morning session by 12 o'clock. And then the afternoon session will take off. This afforded me the time to do some things and be at home. But now we see schools that the children attend school that they have to leave the house before 7 a.m. Some of the schools, 6 p.m., the children are still in the school. Now, a child that leaves the school 6 p.m., when do you think the child will get home? So you now see that invariably the educational system have made it okay for the child to come in late. That is one. Two, the parents, due to the changing nature, then we are having parents that's more into agrarian, they're agricultural based parents that comes back early. These days we are having parents that are doing multi jobs. They don't even get home early enough.
Definitely, this is
So
really.
it spreads all over. If one to apportion blame, we apportion it all over. So you're not going to single out one part of the system and give this to everybody, each and every part of the system. Is that
Wait,
blame?
wait. Me, if I'm to ask, I should blame the parents because I realize that some parents, due to the nature of their job, they don't have time and they don't give more parental care to their children. That is number one. Because okay, but if, for instance, now a parent going to work, coming back by 8 p.m. and you don't have time for your children, you don't have time to tell them this is how we behave, this is what to do, this is how you do, this is how a lady should sit, and this is the time you should sleep, this is the time you, and you do not go to another person's house and stay up to this so hour. Now you leaving your child with your nanny or whoever it may be. Now the children are now more closer to the nanny or the outsider than the parents. Now they don't know more of these things. No, which time do the parents have to impart some of this culture and tradition to their children? No. So they give more concern on their job, their professional job, which they may put it in quotes, than their children. So how do you think the children will know about, because I know that culture is transferred from generation to generation. So if their own parents are as culture them or tell them about the culture or tradition, so and they couldn't even transfer it to their own children, so how do they expect their children to behave the same way they are behaving?
When you said you're going to blame the parents because of the nature of their job, because they're coming late, I'm asking you, when do you expect the parents to come back?
Definitely they should have time for their children.
We're saying the same thing. When will they come back? They are probably working for somebody and they have a normal closing hours. Even parents that are working in public sector, they stay in office sometimes past 4, 5. You know the traffic condition. Some of these parents will do branch over at the market to pick one or two things for the family.
But it's still affecting the family because one, the children, instead of the parents transferring the culture to them, now they are now getting the culture from internet and social media. Some of the things their behavior, some of their behavior are coming from internet. Some of the lifestyle, you watch, imagine a child, instead of listening to something that will educate him, be watching BB Naija and be watching some of those things. Now being how could that educate them or influence them positively in the aspect of culture or tradition of the family?
I definitely understand where you are going. You are looking at it from one aspect that the children are missing the tradition and the morals are going, and you're shifting the whole blame on the parents. That's where I'm having the problem. Zero problem.
Definitely, because
You know,
family.
if we want to apportion it, will start from everybody. We'll start with the government.
Okay.
How the government is being run in this country is not so with other states. There are some that have some allowances for parents that are still training their children in school. There are some that have a limited number of hours the women ought to work so that they go home and take care of the children. But we don't have that. You find out that most of the time, 60% of the parents are working for private sector. So they need to earn their living. So we start with making job available. Given a time that will allow the married women among them, let me use the women first before the men, enough time to get home. Regulating the educational sector so that the children get home on time, even irrespective of whether it's government school or private school. You regulate most of these activities, and then you now see that the parents and the children are at home. Now we will now start imbibing the culture. Not when the child is in school by 6 p.m. and the parent is at work by 7 p.m. Where would we sit and impute the culture? That is the problem.
Okay. Now you're talking about you are putting the blame on the government and other side educational system sector. Now you are talking about this their time in school. Now there is what we call PTA. They attend to PTA meeting. That is where parents end their view on what they think should be better or how they can harmonize their or regulate the activities of their children from school and home. Now talking about this now, that PTA is a good avenue for them to tell the school, please, the time our children come back is not favorable to us. Now they can adjust it. Two, you are talking about government. I believe that every government sector they close by 4 or at least 5. Everybody should be back. Now, those working on a private companies, I don't know the time. They don't have a specific time, which you said you are right on that other side that at least it should be regulated. At least they should have a particular time, a time that will be at least to give parents the opportunity to stay with their children. But I don't really blame government because one is that in as much as things are very hard, I don't really blame government because one is that the time the parents should give more time because they don't work on Saturday and Sunday. Friday is normally half day. So they should have more time for their children, not on okay, early morning they will leave home and coming back very late. Even though they come back, okay, talking about the educational system, let me come back to that now. Even on Saturdays, they still engage the children on extramural class. What are they teaching them? The same thing they have already they learnt. They will still come back to it and start teaching them again. What is extramural class? They don't have time for games. They don't have time for other things. Even house chores, they don't do it. They will employ a nanny that will be doing some of those things and put their children in school that at least I don't know. But I believe that parents should be blamed of that because they put more attention on their work and other activities than their children and their family.
Um, I will say yes and no. Now let me shock you. I'm a teacher.
Okay.
You are saying at the PTA the parents should agitate for the time to be lesson. Now, if I tell you that at the PTA that most of the parents, yes, so they see school as a sort of place to keep their word while they are working. So I don't think majority of the parents want to hear close school earlier. If possible, they want to even hear run school from Monday to Saturday.
So they will have time
So that they will have
job.
time for job
That is
to work.
that is where they are getting it wrong because one, you know that they say socialization starts from the family. Now, whatever, if you don't have that time to socialize with your children, give your children that moral life, I think another place where they will get that will be internet or their peer groups. So their peer groups could give them positive or negative influence. Environment can also influence them too. So if the parents are not there to educate them, culture them the way they should be, who else will do that? Is it the peer group or the teacher in the school that might not even know about what it means to give a child a parental care?
A parental care is quite different from tradition, and we can get it everywhere. Now, you mentioned about BB Niger. The media also shares in the blame. They know the time these children will be watching the telly. What type of program do they air? Do we have a program time children belts in our media coverage where you say, okay, this time is dedicated to the children, where they need to learn? I ask you again, Baby Niger, which part of our tradition is it teaching? And it is approved and is being aired on the media. So also most of the things the children are watching. I tell you, no parents will want to train a child that is not cultured. The reason why parents are staying extra time at the office is to provide, quote and unquote, what they think is best for their children. So I think we have to really go back. One, this modern trend of having just nuclear family, I am my family alone, is not doing good to us Africans. By nature, we are extended family in nature. One person doesn't train a child.
Yeah, definitely.
Think about when you are growing, you have a lot of uncles giving you corrections here and there that made you turn out good. But these days, you don't have any uncle. Nobody's coming near anybody. It's just you and the parents are not there. So we really need to overhaul a lot of things. And then we pick the one that is good and take it back. We can even build some of this thing into our educational system.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You've already, at least from what you said, I've seen the challenges, and there are a lot of challenges. Now we blame the internet, we blame our government, we blame our educational system, we blame a whole lot. And you've not, I've not seen you blame our parents too. I don't know if you
You
are
really
supporting
want
the
me to?
parents.
I'm a parent. I'm a parent. I'm one, and I have
Okay,
teenagers. So
okay.
I know what it takes when you are battling against so many people. When you say this, another person, more than three voices are there to say nay to what you are saying yes to your child. And then the children we are training these days, why they come to the world with a mindset of their own? They question everything.
Yes.
They even question the meaning of their names. So the parents are not even having it easy. And that is why some of them feel so uncomfortable having these children that they are pushing it to the school. And the school will. So,
So,
my dear brother, is a lot of
so that
things.
the school will take more responsibility of what they should
Yes,
do.
yes. When it's supposed to be the other way around. So now you've seen the portion where we are blaming the parents.
Oh, yes,
But
that.
if you ask me, I think another underlying reason is that there is a shift from the traditional way of living, which we know, to
Okay.
this modern way of living. Compartmentalized apartment. Everybody is living in a flat. I myself, I don't even know my next door flat neighbor. If only if she opened the door, I would say hi. I can even identify her in the street. And that is how basically every modern working family is living. You don't know the next person. You tend to protect your children, and you feel that the best way to protect them is to keep them inside, lock them inside. You don't even allow them to mess up. There's this suspicious, there's this insecurity. You don't know who to trust. You don't take the children to the village. So we end up making them aliens, even in our own home. So the only thing they have at their disposal is just the media and
Yeah.
the few things they get from their parents. And of course, their peers, which doesn't know better than them. They not say it's something we really need, it's not something we talk, it's something we really need to put our eyes down
Wow.
and find how to deal with it.
Wow, wow, wow. Like the way you are talking, like you've already shown us an experienced parent you are. But now you've seen the challenges, and now what do you think? Because you will be talking about the solution to this now. How do we blend in the modern the modern side of the training up our children? If because since now currently now, if you are checking out, comparing, putting a comparison between the traditional and the modern, you see that our children are, like you said, they are more, I don't know, should I use the word, they are more inquisitive, they are curious to know why, how, when. So what do you think now would be the best solution? How do we blend to the modern which we are now, the trending aspect of these our children now? How do we blend it so that they will also have, because I believe that that's our traditional values is more important, because it gives us a particular culture, a lifestyle, that even the when you go outside, people will say, "Ah, nwa azụrụ ya azụ, this child is well trained." But bringing up the modern side, that it look as if they are arrogant, they don't respect their elders. That is the aspect I'm coming from now. Now how do we make them now bring that culture to this modern, the tradition and value to this modern era, so that it will blend? That's the solution. How what do you think?
I think for us to blend it, just like you say, I don't blame the parents. Here, I will hold the parents.
Okay.
Now,
Oh,
we need to have what I call basic reorientation.
okay.
I think we parents we have this idea. We want our children to belong. Belong where? We want our children to belong where we don't even know. If we see a child in primary six having a cell phone, because we believe that a child having a cell phone means that the child has belonged. We see us braiding our children hair, allowing them to wear dread and sagging because
I
we believe that that is the
I
trend to wear.
wait. Are you trying to put the blame on the cell phone? Is cell phone one of the factors affecting the children?
Actually, yes, there is a certain age when a child can manage information. You don't give the child access to a lot of information which the child cannot manage.
But the security advice is security aspect is advised that If you are leaving your child at home, or you must keep a phone.
What happens to the smaller versions of the phone? They're not smartphone.
But there are some primary schools and the secondary school that they give them assignment to go on internet and browse.
And they will use your phone as a parent to monitor the sites they're entering.
Okay.
But what I'm telling you is in the mindset of the parent, they believe that I want my child to belong to. Most of these things, the addressing aspect, you now find out. I'm sorry to show you that parents are also gingering it until they don't know where they're going. So I think basically we need to come back, come home.
Now talking about the dressing aspect, now are you, is it not that same parents that who gets the clothes for the children? Is it not parents? So imagine a child of, or should I use a teen of 13 to 15 years putting on bun shorts, working on it with the parents. Who gets the bun shorts that is exposing the body?
Sometimes the children buy it and the parents don't complain because they believe that that's what they're seeing others are putting them on. So for their child to belong. So is this need of this idea, this mentality of let my child belong to?
Okay.
That is our problem. The child don't need to belong where you don't know. There is nothing wrong with our modest dressing. There is nothing wrong with our some, I say some, not all. There is nothing wrong with a family that gets up in the morning and say their prayer together, that have a family meal together. Family can still eat together, that check up on each other, that have a dress code that you don't wear some certain things outside my family. There's nothing wrong with having all this. What we don't know is that why we are removing all this from the children, we're making them aliens. They don't belong anywhere. They don't have identity. They don't have cultural identity. They don't know traditions. They end up being neither here nor there. So I'm taking it back to the parents. We have seen the contemporary world. We have seen the modern everything. And we are not happy. Then let us change it. That is what I say. We change what we don't like.
Definitely, what you said is this is the cure, because parents are mostly blamed on this because they have every right to culture or regulate their children how they should be. But it must start from the grassroots. Not when you allow your children to be behaving that way, and when they get to the teen age where they, in fact, they prove more stubborn, you want to start correcting it. It can never work, because now imagine a child of 5 to 6 years putting on bun shorts, or even putting on singlets and a bun shorts. You carry the person with a canvas, you say that it's a model. But when the person gets to the certain age, you want to control that child to dress decent. Have you seen that the parents have started it already? Now something that happened somewhere where I want, a child was giving me something with left. This, I'm talking about our tradition and value now.
Yes.
Give me something with left. And you know that giving in our Igbo culture, you dare not give out with left. It's only a ritualist or people that are engaged in some, you understand. So now either you give with right, not with left. The other one is that okay, when I try to correct the child, the parents like, what is wrong there? Is it not the same thing? Are you seeing it now? Even the parents don't even know about the tradition and the value. Now talking about greeting, a child will see you and will not greet you, the elder, and looking at you for you to greet. And even when you greet the child will say, you are welcome. Are you seeing the this thing there? Now between the this thing, have you seen that the parents have started it already? So for them to correct it, they should start from the grassroots, start correcting it. Now the solution to all this is for our parents to start from the beginning, to do all these things, bring all the tradition and values, bring it to this modern era, so our children will know that this is how we behave, this is what we believe on this. I must say it, because our audience now, they have been listening to this, and I believe they are enjoying all our conversation talking about the children and the parents and all of this. Now we are talking about the benefits of all this, our traditional values, the benefits. At least I think it gives a one unique culture. I don't know how do you say it, because it gives a one unique culture, our way of life. Like when you come out, someone will like recommend you that this person, the parents really tried.
Yes, actually, when you keep to the tradition, you have what we call the cultural identity. But not like you're saying, I'm saying that we need to, as you're going back to the grassroots, there are some aspect of our culture that we need to imbibe even into the educational system. We put it across all facets of our life because the children pick here and there. We pick the good ones. I encourage the parents is not easy. The ones you know that are not right, start early. The educational system can do a modernization of our curriculum. Integrate those things that make us who we are into our system so that our children grow into it. And then we now see us having that identity which we feel are lost. And this unnecessary tension between our tradition in the contemporary world, I think, is not going to be there.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much to our parents. You've heard it all that the blame is on you, rather, because you need to look into what your children are doing and where they are going to and the kind of friends they are associating with and their lifestyle. Need to tell them, let them know that we have culture, we have our way of life, and without all this, I think they'll be lost in the this thing. So please and please, let's put attention, give more attention to our children than our work and every other thing. Know what they are doing, know where they are going to, know what they are into, and even the phone they are using. Please try to monitor them and regulate their activities on the phone. Thank you very much. See you in our next episode.
Bye.